Hello everybody, this is quixQuery here, and today we are back for another episode of QuixPack. Today, we have a lot of things to talk about, but first, recently I was going to a showing. There's this Spanish magician there, and he put on a magnificent show, super entertaining. It was absolutely great, but the Spanish magician, he one of his best tricks that I just thought was the greatest thing is he what he did is he said, "I'll disappear on the count of 3," right? And he says, "Uno, dos," and then poof, he disappeared without a trace. So this is going to be a little bit different of an episode because the official 1.10 release came out, and with it we are going to look a little bit about what is going to happen in the next release, which is going to be the 1.12 release. And the big reason that we're actually looking at stuff right now instead of just, playing the pack is because there are going to be some major changes in between 1.10 and 1.12. And that's partially out of necessity because, some mods don't get updated and other mods do and other stuff like that. But that's also partially because I learned a lot from the first time, and now I want to make it a little bit better. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start with this vanilla foundation down here, and it's going to have a couple of, just some pretty basic things like recurrent complex, random things, quark, JEI, the one probe apple skin, all that other good stuff, as well as a couple other very, very small mods that would, kind of work in the vanilla setting. Now, we're going to then build off of this and kind of form a modded foundation. And this is just going to be kind of all of our other mods like Actual Additions, Advanced Inventory, Storage Network, X-Tones, Thermal Foundation, which is going to be added in 1.12. At least that's my idea so far. Integrated Dynamics, Scannable, Vein Miner or Excavation. And this is our ore processing compatibility mod. So that all the ore processing is compatible in mechanism, industrial foregoing, and thermal expansion. And so now using the modded foundation, and now keep in mind this is not every single mod that's ever going to be in the 1.12 version. So don't, go like, oh, why isn't this in there? And oh, why isn't that in there? Just it's okay. It's okay. This isn't the final bit. This is my brainstorming part. So now if we come up here to our main progression, we have 3 major tech mods that kind of lay the foundation for our main progression, and you need to go through all of them in order to get to mystical agriculture. And so mystical agriculture, this means that mystical agriculture is now a late game mod instead of kind of an early game help you continue on and keep going kind of thing. And so mining will be a necessity for considerably longer given this fact. Now from mystical agriculture we'll be able to get into Project E, which is our entirely in-game goal. Now, there is no Avaricia here because, well, 1, Avaricia is not yet ported to 1.12, and 2, because Avaricia was a little interesting to kind of work with as a pack developer, and so it's not necessarily something that I am here to add in again. Now, I love the 9x9 crafting idea, but maybe some of the other options would not be something that I am going to use. So 9x9 crafting, sure, I'd be open to doing that again. However, other things like in the Avaricia mod, maybe not so much. Now there's a couple other mods up there that are kind of in-game type things, very important, well, extremely useful, almost to the point of overpowered. And so those are up here next to Project E and Mystical Agriculture because, they'll just They're mostly just one item mods, but they're quite nice. So anyway, this is what we are looking at as far as 1.12 kind of stuff goes. Now, yeah, and so I've nicknamed our vanilla foundation down here Artificial Vanilla, and but that's just kind of like a little side note, whatever. It's just a little nickname because I want it to just be playable as kind of like a vanilla-esque experience in and of itself. What is industrial foregoing, some of you may have asked. Well, fear not. Industrial foregoing, right here, is the spiritual successor of Mine Factory Reloaded. It has a lot of the same machines that Mine Factory Reloaded had, and features and other stuff like that, in a brand new package called Industrial Foregoing. It's not actually Mine Factory Reloaded, it's the spiritual successor of Mine Factory Reloaded. Kind of like how Minicio became Inferium, and in the transition from 1.7 to 1.10, we now have Mystical Agriculture. We used to have Minicio. Well, what does all of that mean for our series here right now? Well, one of the things it means is that unless Chickens updates very soon, I'm probably going to try and find an alternative for a good way of farming dyes, etc. Not Mystical Agriculture, because I want dyes to be relatively more accessible, if that makes sense. I just don't want to throw everything into one mod, and that's why I'm, trying to limit Mystical Agriculture, not only in the pack right now, but in the pack that is going to be in 1.12. So, now, Extra Utilities 2 is probably going to be seeing its way out, and that's just because it's currently still in development, and that's absolutely fine. It's still a great mod. And it might still find its way in, and if it does, it'll probably be with only very basic features. So, just, heads up. And so, what we want to focus on is testing out the progression that we do have in place right now, just learning a couple of more things from it. So, we got to get our dire crafting table going, and our neutron collector. So, let's start up on that. So let's look at some of the things that are in Avariccia. We got our singularities right here. We got a record fragment, infinity ingot, and a couple of other odd things, including these neutron piles that look kind of fuzzy, and the infinity catalyst, as well as, a couple of other bits and pieces. Now, this is the dire crafting table, and it is a 9x9 crafting table grid. So let's look at making one of these. Oh, yes. Okay. This requires some funky stuff. So we need a lot of crafting tables in order to do this. Like, oh, that's over a stack of crafting tables. That's a lot of crafting tables, I'm just realizing right now. Now, let's actually, before we continue on, we want to make our crystal matrix ingots, which require diamond lattice. So let's look at the recipe for the crystal matrix ingots. This is it right here. We got the diamond lattice, the enchanted ingot, and the specter ingot. So the enchanted ingot is from Extra Utilities 2. The recipe is right here. And base essence ingots, magical wood. So it's pretty simple. But it requires a bit of experience. The enchanted ingot does. The specter ingot is from random things, and I think we can actually make one of the specter ingots right now. We need, for that recipe we need a block of gold and a block of lapis, which is absolutely fine. And that gives us 9. Awesome. So we got our specter ingots. Those are all taken care of. We need our enchanted ingots, which means we need some base essence ingots. So do we have prismarine? We do. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no, we need a lot more than that. Okay, how do we make prismarine again? Quartz. Okay. Yeah, no, let's convert a whole stack of quartz into prismarine right here, and then half a stack of prismarine into the other stuff. And this will take a while because this still has to charge up more. Because the prismarine actually takes a lot of energy to make. Okay, let's try the... Oh, no, it's the magical wood that requires the... Okay, the magical wood that is required to make the enchanted ingots requires XP. That's what it is. So we need some books, some wood. Do we have logs? Wood? We do have logs. Okay. We have paper. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, no, we still need to make the bookshelf. Okay. Bookshelf. Okay, bookshelf is gotten. Now we make the enchanted wood, which probably needs to actually be in a vanilla crafting table, so let's do that right here. That gives us our magical wood. Awesome. And this actually also works as the bookshelves around an enchanting table. So, yeah, you can use that kind of as enchanting table decoration as well. But since we are going for the enchanted ingots right here, awesome, we got 8 of those. Oh, we didn't need 9 base essence ingots. Okay. Now we can make our crystal matrix ingot as soon as we have diamond lattice, which is not that hard to make, so let's do that. Crystal matrix ingot, that makes 2 of them. How many do we need? We need 8 of these, oh my goodness, okay. That was a little more than I was anticipating. Okay, that makes 2, 4, 6. That's the amount of lattice that we need still. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. We got our crystal matrix ingots. Now that we have those, we can look into getting ourselves the dire crafting table. Okay, 9 compressed crafting tables turns into a double compressed crafting table. Surrounded by crystal matrix ingots gives us a dire crafting table, which is what we want. Oh, okay. This is why I keep our blocks of sticks on us, so I don't have to go all the way around. Now, this is going to be a little bit more of a journey for each recipe, and so we're just going to keep it over here for the moment being. Let's actually take up our sign right here. Now, now that we have that quest complete, claim that reward, the next quest is for a neutron collector, which we need for stuff. Yeah. So, cleaning out the inventory right now. We got a dragon egg from that. That's pretty good. The neutron collector, if I remember correctly. Yes, the neutron collector. That requires 3 solar panels, a bunch of tin, a bunch of iron, 4 crystal matrix ingots, which means we need to make some more of those things. This fuel dissolver in the middle, which is actually quite cheap, but looks super cool. So yeah, copper, a lot of tin, some solar panels. So let's get some iron, copper, tin. Oh, we only have 16 ingots of tin. That might not be enough. And our fuel dissolver goes in the middle. Now, how does this work? We're missing items still. Let's just put what we have in there for the moment being. I think this is how it goes. Our 3 solar panels at the top. Okay, I got this. 3 solar panels at the top, 10 all the way along the bottom. This one, this one, this one, and this one are crystal matrix, and then the other stuff goes in the corners and the sides, Aha! So we made our solar panels. Those were pretty simple. The crystal matrix ingots we also made. Those were also, it's a lot of crafting. Actually, no, the thing about these, though, is that they actually required a lot of power because turning quartz into prismarine is actually quite expensive with the atomic reconstructor. Now, there isn't pretty much any other way of getting prismarine. If we look at the stuff right here, this can be smelted from prismarine. Getting prismarine can either be gotten from a guardian, elder guardian, or from the atomic reconstructor, because, yeah. And so that was definitely our better option than going out and hunting for guardians, setting up mob farms, and all this other stuff. But it just took a lot of power, and so now we're running quite low on power for our system right here, which is fine, but we just need to make sure that we are keeping that in mind and keeping our batteries charging up. Now, the next part of this is to get the atomic alloys, the elite control circuits, and the advanced control circuits. Now, the advanced control circuits will be pretty easy. Let's get those done right now. Okay, we need 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Now, you may be asking, why on earth do you need 4 elite advanced control circuits? There are only 2 in this recipe right here. Well, the elite control circuits require advanced control circuits, so that's the reason we need those. Now, since we have those right there, I think we actually might have some atomic alloys. Do we have atomic? Yes, we do. So we actually have enough to make this thing right here and now. So let's do this. Those right there, those right there, and those right there give us a neutron collector. 1 journey down. Now, what does this do? It literally just, it creates neutrons over long periods of time. So let's sleep right now and then get this thing down as soon as we possibly can, because it actually takes a long time for it to produce a lot of different things. So let's just set it next to our dire crafting table right here, and you can see that this is how long it takes to advance in percentage-wise. And so it's like, ticking up. You'd think at a fairly fast rate, but we're only at like 4% now. And now, what this does, let's look for a moment at what our goal here is. In our thing here, we got an elite bag. Our goal is the Philosopher's Stone next, right? Okay, so let's look at Philosopher's Stone. Now, we need osmium essence. We got osmium essence. We need osmium crystals. We got our osmium crystals. Supremium essence, not a big deal. We have plenty of inferium and other stuff like that downstairs. Nether coal, we can definitely obtain that without too much trouble. The fire imbues are just coal, blaze powder, and flint, and a water bottle in one of these imbuing stations. Now, in the middle here, you can see these are piles of neutrons and neutronium nuggets. The neutronium nuggets are 9 piles of neutrons. So, essentially, what this thing does is once it reaches 100%, it will produce 1 pile of neutrons. 1 pile. 9 piles makes a nugget. We need 4 nuggets for our Philosopher's Stone. So you can see how this could take a long time to produce anything of any real value. And so it is actually quite beneficial to have multiple of these around if you're going to be, doing stuff like that. However, since, anyway, but we're not going to worry too much about it. I can just AFK for a while I am doing other things, because I always have things to do. We have more elite tier installers and emerald ore. Awesome. Quite happy with that. So that is what we are doing right now. We need to start getting our Philosopher's Stone recipe ready. Now you may be wondering, quixQuery, what on earth is this thing in the middle? It's a prism. It's actually quite cheap. We can make one of those right now, I believe. Yes, we can. Awesome. No big deal. Now that we have all of these things, we need to start putting them in their proper places. Like so. Now, we're just waiting on this thing mostly. Oh my goodness, it hasn't even produced one yet. Yeah, this thing is incredibly slow. Incredibly slow. Like,
so super slow that it's not even funny.
We got 1 pile of neutrons. Awesome. Let's put that in here. It's ready to rock and roll. Now we want to work on our fire imbues right here. The fire imbues, we need 8 of them. Each require 1 blaze powder, 1 water bottle, 1 flint, and 1 coal. So we need 8 of them, so let's get that stuff put together. Okay, we might be in a little bit of trouble. I might have just set up our resturbed mob spawners to try and get a few more blaze rods, because we were out of blaze powder, and now we have these crazy things. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, no, we need to get those out now. Okay. The spawners are gone. Oh my goodness, they're so fast. Okay, we got a blaze rod. That's good. Man. A resturbed baby blaze, though? Oh my goodness. Okay, fine. Please, come this way. Interesting fact in the middle of this episode. These piles of neutrons are literally just piles of, well, neutrons. What are the neutrons, you may ask? Well, if you remember back to chemistry days, neutrons are in the nucleus of atoms. And so basically, you remember all that airspace and all the atom diagrams you drew? Yeah, that's right. Well, this is just a pile of neutrons, meaning that all that airspace is pretty much non-existent. You know, there might be some, but it's absolutely nothing in comparison to the current airspace that is there in between all of the atoms and all that other stuff. So, when it says try not to think about it, it's meaning this is actually insanely heavy. Like, if you thought gold and lead were heavy, they got nothing on this. In fact, if you look at the description for the neutronium nugget, it says about 35.6 million metric tons. That is a lot of weight, all in one tiny little nugget. Now, if we think about it, this nugget is 1/81st of a square meter, and it weighs 35.6 million metric tons. Yeah, this is some pretty crazy stuff we're dealing with here. Okay, so as we've been going, we've gotten 2 piles of neutrons, so they go in there still. And now we have enough water bottles to start imbuing the fire imbues. So let's do that right now. imbues have been made. We have pretty much the entire recipe done other than the neutrons. So, waiting on this thing. I don't think there might actually be a way to speed this up. Give me a moment of time to look into this. I think, wait, no. Yes, okay. It's this thing right here, the acceleration wand. It just requires bone meal, but the advanced wand cores require nether stars, which means they require withers, which means difficult stuff. And then the wand core is more blazes. So this is actually, that would actually, yeah, pretty much by the time we had made this thing, we would have enough for our stone right here. And remember, since the pack is on a new version, to type in this command bqadmin default load. It will reload the default base, and you will not have lost any progress from anything. You will still have all of the progress that you have made. It just helps you, it updates some of the quest changes that have happened in the past update. Well, here we are. We are ready to make our Philosopher's Stone. Magnificent. And that crosses off our quest in the Project E quest line. That gives us an elite bag. And the next quest is to get some alchemical coal. So, let's start on that. Wow, we got 2 advanced bags from that. A lunch bag from one of the advanced bags, too. That was a lot of stuff from that one elite bag. That was pretty good, actually. A lot of stuff. Okay, so if we want to, so instead of using regular coal in Project E for this version of the pack, we are using nether coal. And so the best way, and from my experience of getting nether coal, is to come down to our mystical agriculture stuff, and all the way down to right here. We want to grab our coal essence, 2, 3, 4, 5, and some nether essence, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we want to head back up, nope, not that far, to right here, and chuck all of these in this right here. And that should give us nether coal ore. And that gives us 4 stacks of nether coal ore, which, is a decent amount, but we need to get the automation of stuff set up down there at some point. It should be enough to get us started. Now, if we look at the uses, if we smelt this, it gives us 2 nether coal, which is the best way of processing it, if I'm aware correctly. So we will... I'm not sure what's wrong with this smelting factory, because it says 0 RF right there, but when we look at it, we get a proper amount for the RF, so no idea what's going on there. So we will process this nether coal ore. In the midst of processing things, and so we are looking in here, we have our nether coal, and so in order to make the next tier of this stuff, what we want to do is place them in there like that with our Philosopher's Stone like so, and that gives us the next tier, which is Alchemical Coal. Voila! So we actually want our Philosopher's Stone with us, okay? Now that crosses off the next quest in the line. It only gives us an advanced bag, kind of makes sense though. And that's where the rest of everything starts to open up. We get the alchemical chest, which is where the matter condensers and stuff like that are located, and that's one of the main, most well-known features of Project E, is the matter condensers. And we can go down to Mobius fuel and other stuff like that. So let's actually look at the alchemical chest, because that's what I want to start getting into first, is the alchemical chest. So the alchemical chest requires a chest, all 3 tiers of covalence dust, some refined obsidian ingots, steel ingots, and so on and so forth. So let's see how much of this stuff we have. We don't have steel. That's fine. We can make steel pretty easily. Now the obsidian ingots, on the other hand, require a little bit more other stuff. We need an osmium compressor, which is a machine we actually haven't made yet, surprisingly. So we need to make our osmium compressor. So we're just temporarily going to place our osmium compressor right there because it's an easy spot to work with it. And in order to use this, we need refined obsidian. Obsidian? Oh, we turned it all into compressed obsidian. Hold up. Let's make sure we know exactly how to use this. How we make these, we need refined obsidian dust. That's fine. And an osmium ingot. Okay. Per refined obsidian ingot. So our refined obsidian dust we can get from a metallurgic infuser with diamond and obsidian dust. So to get obsidian dust, we need obsidian. Let's just grab 16 of it, and I think if you throw it in an enrichment chamber, it'll turn into dust. Obsidian. Yes, it does. Awesome. Obsidian. 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 But the next thing in the quest line is the Transmutation Table. Aha! So let's look up that. Transmutation. Okay, so in order to make this, we need our Philosopher Stone, some obsidian, and some stone. That's actually quite cheap. So, good, pretty easy stuff. Now, this is actually something you put on the ground, and you can put stuff into here and take different stuff out. It uses EMC to kind of equivalent exchange stuff around, but it's a little more complicated than the next thing that we have, which is the matter condenser, which is what we actually want to get to. So we want to get to our energy condenser. So let's throw our transmutation table and our alchemical chest into there, and throw another ingot into there. Okay. Let's see what this bag has to offer real quick. An ender pearl. Ender pearls are good. And let's look at the energy condenser in our thing right here. Condenser. Aha. Not the Mark II yet. That requires an alchemical chest, 4 diamonds, and 4 obsidian. It's actually pretty cheap in comparison to some of the other things that we've seen so far. And so, yeah. We got ourselves an energy condenser. Voila. So now, how on earth does this work, you may ask? Well, it is actually quite simple. If we grab some of our compressed, say, our compressed netherrack, like we have a bunch of quintuple compressed netherrack, you can see that it has an EMC value. And so what we can do is we can actually just throw this in here, and now, say we are running low on diamonds, which we are right now. So we can grab a diamond, and we only need one, and we put it right, set that right there, and it turns all of the compressed netherrack into diamonds. So yeah, now we have 56 diamonds, so we are not running short on diamonds. And that's just from a little bit of compressed netherrack. So imagine all the other good stuff that can come from this. Yeah, anyway, it's crazy powerful, this, the energy condenser is. And then the Mark II, I believe, just holds more EMC potential or something like that. I don't honestly know what the Mark II is, but it's a lot more expensive than the Mark I. But anyway, that is the very beginning of Project E in our questline right here. We got an elite bag, which is magnificent, so we can open that up and see what it has to store. Ectoplasm, okay. Lunch bag, advanced bag, and a... okay, that was meh, as far as an elite bag goes. These both have EMC values. Oh wait, hold up. This works in my inventory. Yeah, no, this is totally working in my inventory. That's so crazy. Oh my goodness. I need to throw out this obsidian pickaxe and get something better like a steel paxel. Man. Look at this. It's bobbing up and down because it's being repaired. That's so awesome. So it looks like the obsidian paxel is the best one, and so what we want to do is we want to make refined obsidian pickaxe, obsidian axe, and shovel. And I think we have just enough refined obsidian in here to do that. No, we are one short. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and if we grab some more diamond, we are not. We won't be so short quite soon. Oh wait, hold up, no. Oh, no, we don't have an extra one in there. Okay. So let's make this obsidian paxel here real quick. Voila! Obsidian paxel. And you know what that means. With 15 attack damage, that's actually better than our obsidian spear. So what we can do is we can go into our quest book and check out the storage quest line and look at the trash can quest. So the trash can, pretty simple. You mean you wouldn't want it to be expensive because you can just toss items on the ground and whatever. It's just mostly a convenience thing, and we can set that right here for the moment being. And what we want to do is we want to throw out this and this, and in here we also can throw out this, and that. Our silk touch drill we will keep, and a lot of this other stuff as well. However, all this tool, and this tool can all be thrown in the trash. Make sure not to throw anything else in the trash. So now we have the one tool that we need right there. That is absolutely magnificent. Repair talisman, quite nice. I did not know that that worked in your inventory. I could have made this a lot sooner, and it just would have been repairing items this whole time. So now we have a pretty in-game tool. So let's head over to the comment of the episode. So for the comment of the episode, we're not actually going to have a comment. So, yeah, kind of misleading title there. But what we're going to do is we're going to go over my plan. So I've had this thought, and I've been stepping back and looking at this build that we have here, and it's okay. However, it is very plain, and while it has an interesting shape, the block choice is all gray. There's pretty much no color in this entire build, and that's a serious problem, as and I kind of want to get better at building, and one of the best ways to get better at building is to play vanilla, right? So, so I've been thinking about starting a vanilla series. Just entirely vanilla, maybe like a couple things like JEI, but that's it. Like, no mini-map in the corner there, or any of this other content adding mods. Yeah, so I've been thinking about starting a vanilla series, and now, hear me out on this. One of the potential ideas is that the vanilla series could kind of come in and replace this one a little bit with the comment of the day and all of that stuff. However, we would also continue on this world as more of a streaming content type thing, and so we'd stream this world. We would still play in this world, but it would be in streaming instead of in actual like YouTube content videos. Let me know what your thoughts are on that idea down in the comments below, because I definitely want to get better at building and a lot of other stuff like that. The focus wouldn't be quite so much on making the most efficient farms in the world and stuff like that, or on the redstone and stuff like that. It's more on the building. That's the entire reason that I want to potentially start up this vanilla series. So yeah, anyway, let me know what you think about that down in the comments below. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you around in the next episode of whatever the next episode is. So, for now, yeah.